AITA for wearing an over-the-top outfit to my friend's birthday party and overshadowing the host? The night of Peter's birthday party was supposed to be just another celebration. One filled with laughter, music, and happy memories. But it quickly became something else, a story of misunderstandings, jealousies, and uncomfortable truths coming to light. A story that not only uncovered the complicated dynamics between friends but also showed how love and loyalty can be the most unpredictable of forces. Last Friday, Peter, a lively and charismatic 28-year-old, had his birthday party organized by April, a close colleague who had taken it upon herself to make the evening special. April was enthusiastic about planning every detail, from the morbid-themed decorations that catered to Peter's quirky love for the macabre, to the strict dress code labeled as "Go Best." April was very particular about how everyone showed up, wanting to create a cohesive and memorable experience. One of Peter's oldest friends, a young seamstress known as the original poster, op, in this story, had received multiple reminders from April to dress appropriately. April's tone seemed a little condescending, as though she doubted OP's ability to follow the theme. This stirred something inside op, and he was determined to go all in with the outfit. He made it a point to live up to the "go best" expectation, to prove that he could not only meet but exceed everyone's imagination. Op worked meticulously, putting together a black velvet trouser and waistcoat ensemble, pairing it with a stunning white 18th century men's shirt, something reminiscent of pirate attire. But elegant. It wasn't just an outfit, it was a work of art. Every element, from drafting the patterns to sewing by hand, was done personally by op, including the embroidered moth on the back of the waistcoat, a detail that made the outfit truly unique. On the day of the party, op was late, held up at work. He made sure to inform both Peter and April of the delay. Peter was understanding and insisted that op still show up, while April's response was silence. By the time op arrived, the party was in full swing. As he walked in, he was greeted by warm cheers and several admiring glances. The intricate embroidery and elegance of his outfit quickly became a topic of conversation, as did his skill in crafting the entire ensemble by himself. Peter, in his usual boisterous way, made sure to tell everyone how incredibly talented op was, spinning him around for people to see the embroidered moth on his back. It wasn't OP's intention to draw attention, but Peter's enthusiasm was infectious. The crowd was genuinely interested, and soon op found himself the focal point of several discussions about craftsmanship and creativity. It was an unexpected but enjoyable moment. As the night progressed, April's irritation became more and more apparent. She had worked hard to make sure every detail of the party was perfect, and in her eyes, OP's impressive attire was upstaging her efforts, diverting attention away from Peter, or maybe even her. She saw op as an attention seeker, someone desperate to stand out. This feeling grew into resentment, and over the weekend, op found his social media and phone flooded with nasty messages from April and some of her friends. They called him selfish, accused him of ruining the party, and overshadowing Peter's special day. Op was bewildered by the reaction. He couldn't comprehend how his effort to follow the dress code could be twisted into an act of malice. He began to doubt himself, replaying the night in his head, questioning every compliment he received. But Peter was quick to step in. When op confided in him about the harassment, Peter's anger was palpable. He had known April for some time, but this behavior crossed the line. Peter confronted April, only to uncover a disturbing truth. April had been spreading false stories at her workplace, claiming that she and Peter were in a secret relationship. She'd even been snapping pictures of him to show as proof to her friends, cultivating a narrative that simply didn't exist. It turned out, April's possessiveness over Peter wasn't about friendship or loyalty. It was rooted in a fantasy she had built around herself and Peter. The confrontation was dramatic, involving Peter, his boss, and even April's uncle, who also worked at the same firm. April's behavior escalated to the point where police intervention was required, and she ended up on a 48-hour psychiatric hold. Peter made the decision to work from home full-time, distancing himself from April completely. The fallout from the incident left everyone shocked, but also brought to light how little people knew about each other's true intentions. Meanwhile, op tried to move past the ordeal. He focused on the positive, the compliments he received, the fact that Peter had his back, And the reminder that sometimes people's actions have nothing to do with you and everything to do with their insecurities. In a completely different setting, another drama was unfolding. OP's story might have been about friendship and betrayal, but there was another, more intimate story that centered around love, loyalty, and the unpredictable nature of human relationships. Leo and his wife had been married for 4 years. Together for 7, their marriage seemed stable on the surface. But Leo's request for an open marriage shattered that illusion. Leo, feeling unfulfilled, gave his wife an ultimatum: open marriage or divorce. The request left her devastated, and in a moment of vulnerability and fear of losing him, she agreed to the open marriage. Despite how much it hurt her, Leo immediately took advantage of the new arrangement, going out often, seemingly living his best life. Meanwhile, his wife felt broken, questioning her self-worth, and drowning in loneliness. It wasn't until her sister Katie and best friend Jessie encouraged her to also date that she began to see things differently. At first, the idea of dating terrified her. She saw herself as unattractive, overweight, and unworthy of attention, but with the help of her friends, she set up online dating profiles. And to her surprise, she got a lot of interest. The experience was transformative. She met kind, generous men who helped her regain her confidence. One man, Mark, became a steady presence in her life, while another, Stephen, provided fun and lighthearted companionship. Leo, on the other hand, found himself struggling. His initial success in the open marriage began to fade as the women he pursued wanted more emotional connection than he was willing to give. He was often left alone while his wife went out, enjoying her time with Mark and Stephen. The dynamics had shifted, and Leo found himself longing for the connection he once had with his wife. He tried to rekindle their intimacy, but the damage was done. His wife no longer felt the same way about him. The love she had once felt had died during those painful months when he was out enjoying himself while she suffered in silence. After a heartfelt conversation, they both realized that their marriage was over. She moved out, choosing to live with her sister while they finalized the divorce. It wasn't an easy decision, despite everything. She still cared for Leo, but she knew she couldn't stay in a relationship where her love wasn't reciprocated in the way she needed. She deserved better, and she had finally found the strength to go after it. Both stories, though different, share a common theme: the unpredictability of human relationships and the importance of self-worth. OP's story showed how jealousy and insecurity can drive people to act irrationally, even hurtfully. It also highlighted the value of true friendship. Peter's support was unwavering, a reminder that real friends lift you up, even when others try to tear you down. In Leo's story, the open marriage was a catalyst for change. It revealed the cracks that had always been there, forcing both Leo and his wife to confront their true feelings. The wife's journey was one of rediscovery, realizing that she was worthy of love and happiness, and that she didn't need to settle for less. Leo's regret came too late, but it served as a reminder that we should never take our partners for granted. In both stories, the characters faced difficult truths about themselves and their relationships. They learned that sometimes, the hardest thing to do is to let go, but that letting go can also be the most liberating choice. Whether it's a friend who betrays you or a partner who no longer loves you the way you deserve, choosing yourself is always the right decision. These stories remind us that life is full of unexpected twists. Relationships can bring us joy, but they can also bring pain. The key is to know your worth, to surround yourself with people who truly care for you, and to never be afraid to walk away from those who don't. It's in those moments of courage that we find our true selves. And it's through those challenges that we grow. After 14 years, I discovered my son wasn't mine. My wife left for his rich biological dad. But in court, my son revealed a shocking truth about them. It was a beautiful spring day. The sun pouring in through the windows of a small, suburban home. Everything seemed perfect on the surface. A family with a house filled with memories, laughter echoing through its walls, and a father devoted to his son. For 14 years, Tom had lived for his family, putting in extra hours at work and sacrificing his comforts to ensure his son, Adam, had everything he needed. But on a day like any other, a shocking revelation turned his world upside down. Tom had never imagined that a simple note would become the turning point of his life. It was not just a note, it was a blow that shattered the reality he had built and cherished for over a decade. When he walked into the quiet house that day, expecting the usual smells from his wife Rebecca's cooking or the noise of video games from Adam's room, what he found was absolute silence. He felt uneasy as he moved through the house, calling out to them. No response. And then he saw it, a small piece of paper lying on the nightstand. Rebecca's words were brief but destructive. She explained she was leaving, taking Adam with her. But that wasn't the hardest part. It was the revelation that Adam was not Tom's biological child. He sat there, stunned, feeling the ground beneath him collapse. For 14 years, Tom had believed that Adam was his son. He had held him when he was a newborn, helped him with his homework, taught him how to ride a bike, stayed up all night when he was sick, and shared countless moments that had become precious memories. And now, Rebecca claimed that Adam's real father had come back, and she wanted a new life with him. Tom struggled to comprehend the situation. The love he felt for Adam hadn't changed, but everything he thought he knew about his family now seemed like a lie. He had been unaware of Rebecca's brief fling all those years ago. Just before they started dating, when she found out she was pregnant, she had assumed it was his child, or perhaps she just wanted it to be. She chose to lie to him, a lie that lasted 14 years. Now, this man had re-entered their lives, and Rebecca wanted to be with him. Tom couldn't help but feel betrayed. Everything he had done, working 2 jobs, putting his dreams on hold, loving his wife and child, had been based on the belief that they were a family. He wondered if every hug, every "I love you, Dad," from Adam, had been a lie. Did Adam know? Was he ever suspicious that something wasn't right? Tom called Rebecca and Adam again and again, but their phones were off. He even drove to Rebecca's parents' house, but there was no sign of them. He was lost, overwhelmed by despair, anger, and an emptiness he had never felt before. Eventually, Tom decided to fight. He contacted a lawyer, determined to keep Adam in his life. The lawyer told him it would be an uphill battle. After all, Tom wasn't Adam's biological father, and in the eyes of the court, blood relationships often held weight. But Tom was ready to fight. He had raised Adam, been there through every scraped knee, every school project, every joy and sorrow. He was Adam's father, regardless of biology. Court was a nightmare. Rebecca and Adam's biological father, David, were relentless. They painted Tom as an absentee father who worked too much, neglecting his son. They claimed David could provide Adam with a better life, private schools, financial stability, opportunities that Tom couldn't afford. Witnesses, including friends of Rebecca and David, testified against Tom, twisting his sacrifices into evidence of neglect. His 2 jobs, which he had worked to support his family, were portrayed as a sign he was never there for Adam. Tom felt crushed under the weight of it all. Everything he had done for his family was being turned against him. He feared losing Adam forever. But then, something unexpected happened. The judge decided that Adam, now 14, should have a say in where he wanted to live. Tom's heart sank. He was terrified that Rebecca and David had turned Adam against him. He couldn't bear the thought of Adam choosing to leave. When Adam stood up in court, Tom held his breath, and then, Adam said the words that changed everything. He wanted to stay with his dad, his real dad, the one who had raised him, the one who had been there for him through everything. Adam spoke of the camping trips they took together, how Tom taught him to ride a bike, how he had always been there for every soccer game, every important moment. Adam revealed that Rebecca and David had tried to coach him, telling him to say things that weren't true about Tom. But Adam refused. He couldn't lie about the man who had always loved him. The courtroom fell silent. Rebecca and David were visibly shaken. The judge listened carefully as Adam detailed the manipulation attempts, how they had pressured him to paint Tom as an unfit father, how they had even tried to bribe people to testify against Tom. The judge was appalled. After reviewing all the evidence, he made his decision. Tom would have full custody of Adam. The judge emphasized that being a parent wasn't about biology, it was about love, care, and dedication, qualities that Tom had demonstrated in abundance. The relief Tom felt was indescribable. He broke down in tears as Adam ran to hug him. The weight of months of uncertainty and fear was lifted from his shoulders. They were finally free to rebuild their lives together. Life wasn't easy after that. Tom and Adam moved into a small, old house. Money was tight, but they made it work. Adam even offered to get a part-time job to help out. But Tom insisted he focus on his studies and just being a kid. They both started therapy, Adam to cope with the upheaval of his life, and Tom to deal with the betrayal and the emotional scars left behind. Tom was amazed at Adam's resilience. Despite everything, Adam remained strong, mature beyond his years. They talked a lot about what it meant to be a family. About trust, love, and loyalty. They started new traditions, cooking dinner together every night. Even though neither of them was particularly good at it, they laughed at their mistakes, learned new recipes, and cherished the time they had together. They also started a weekly movie night, watching all the classic films Tom loved as a kid. Rebecca and David were given visitation rights, but Adam made it clear he didn't want to see them for now. Tom respected his wishes, allowing Adam to take the lead on when, or if, he was ready to reconnect with them. The therapist suggested they take things slowly, perhaps starting with supervised visits if Adam ever changed his mind. Tom knew it would be a long road, but he was ready to walk it with his son. Tom had to make changes at work. He cut back on his hours to spend more time with Adam. Financially, it was a struggle, but being there for his son was worth every sacrifice. They were slowly finding their rhythm, building a new life together. Most evenings, they would cook, laugh, and talk about their day. They weren't just surviving, they were thriving, finding joy in the little things that made their relationship special. Tom realized that love isn't defined by blood, but by actions, sacrifices, and the willingness to be there when it matters the most. He had been there for Adam from the moment he was born, and no revelation could change that. The bond they shared was unbreakable, forged through years of love, care, and dedication. In the end, Tom and Adam's story teaches us that family isn't always about shared DNA. It's about shared moments, sacrifices, and the love that binds people together. The most important thing a parent can give their child isn't wealth or luxury, it's time, attention, and unconditional love. Tom's story also serves as a reminder that life can change in an instant. Sometimes, the truth can be painful, but facing it with courage and fighting for what truly matters can lead to a stronger, more meaningful connection. Tom could have walked away when he found out Adam wasn't biologically his. But he chose to stay because love is more than genetics. It's about the bonds we choose to nurture. To those who may be facing similar challenges, Tom's journey is an example of resilience, the power of love, and the importance of never giving up on the people we care about. No matter how difficult the circumstances, there is always hope, and sometimes, the most rewarding relationships are the ones we fight the hardest to keep. Tom and Adam built a new life together, one filled with love, laughter, and a deeper understanding of what it means to be a family. Their story is a testament to the enduring power of a father's love and the unbreakable bond that can exist between a parent and a child, regardless of biology.